Welcome to Ignite Success, where we talk about people, places, and projects that fire us up. I'm your host, Suzie Becker, and I'm here with two very special women. Amy Copeland is an editor and writing coach, and Sherri Jones, you are a storyteller.
Yes.
And the two of you came together to provide us with something that was so important, timely, and necessary. So let's start with you, Amy. How did you meet Sherri?
I was, I received a referral from my writing mentor, Lynn Scappiat-Carlin, because oftentimes people get referred to her, but she's too busy to work with them, so she'll ask me if I have time to work with them. So that's how we met, through a referral.
So interesting. And Sherri, when you met Amy, was this relationship organic? Did you feel like she was the right person to capture your story without changing your voice?
Yes, she was a big instrumental part of me writing my book, yes.
Yeah, so
Yes.
This is a sensitive topic, but it's a very, very timely and very important one. We talk about sexual assault, sexual violence, molestation, and I think in recent years, people have sort of put that in the background, right? We think that it's something that has become more of a talking point, when in fact, the idea of shame and blame and what could happen and unravel afterwards is really the scariest part for some young women, and you navigate that and provide assistance in a how-to almost.
Yes.
So tell me, Sherri, how was this for you?
Well, writing my book has been a big stress reliever. I just feel more confident in with myself, and I'm just glad I got it out of my soul from 1974.
Right, because sometimes when we live with those things, we can't heal what we don't feel.
No.
We keep burying it down and burying it
Yes.
down, and then it creates all of those physiological and mental health components. And Amy, to read something like this and then say, I'm going to work with Sherri very closely, I'm going to get to know her, and I'm going to tell her story, and the most important part of an editor's job, without changing her voice.
Yes.
How were you able to do that?
Well, wow. I think it comes from my experience working with FSCJ, because I'm an academic writing tutor. And for 10 years now, I've been working with college students who are taking all sorts of classes that require them to write, but particularly the freshman English classes, where they're first learning the expectations for an essay. They're tasked with writing personal narratives because it's easier. You're trying to learn how to write to an academic expectation, but let's work with your story first.
Right, you can tell the
So
best details in something that's personal to you.
Learn from that experience of writing essays about personal topics. And the students have a lot of latitude to choose exactly what they want to focus on in these essays, but I find time and time again, they have something on their soul that they need to release.
Does that
And
sound
they
familiar
need
to you,
to
Sherri?
write about
Yes.
it.
It's
Yes.
a need.
So I've been
Yes.
working with these students for 10 years now, and it just happens over and over again. And yes, you're right. The idea is we want to help the story conform to a form that works for the reader and makes it engaging, but we don't want to change the way that person's voice sounds. We want to make the
Right.
grammar and punctuation more readable,
Right.
but we have to be very, very careful with that voice. I think that it's just something that comes naturally to me.
And did you publish this together?
Yes, we did.
Was it difficult to publish?
Difficult in that there are a lot of steps, and it can be a very intense process that seems
See you
sometimes
laughing.
like it might never end.
And so having someone who's experienced in this like you, in the editing capacity, but also
Right.
in the publishing realm,
Right.
helps you to get from what's in your head
Yes.
out onto computer or pen, I'm old school, and then
Yes.
out for other people to use
Right.
as a resource. And how do we find Sherri's book? Where can we find it?
We are working on this week trying to get it into Chamberlain's,
Yes.
both outlets, Literary Lounge, and we have a website where it's available for sale as well.
Tell us what the website is.
It's wassomworks.squarespace.com, and WASSOM stands for Women United Against Sexual Molestation. So wassomworks.squarespace.com.
Fabulous. One final question. Sherri,
Yes.
who inspires you and why?
Who inspires me? My children. My children inspire me.
Do you think that they get to look at you and they understand that writing a book is not about the income, it's about the outcome?
Yes. Yes, they're the ones that inspired me to write the book back in 2015. So they inspired me to write the book.
Sherri, thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Yes.
And Amy, thank you for sharing your talents with Sherri and subsequently with us as well. If you want to find out more about Amy Copeland, who's an editor, and you'd like to find out more about Sherri Jones and her book, Finding Sherri, you can go to dailynewsnetwork.com. I'm your host, Suzie Becker. Stay inspired and inspiring.